So I have set up a scene here. There's a plane on the ground, which is the plane right here. And then I've set up 3 boxes. I've also gone in and I've set up, I just used one of the HDRI environment maps. And I put it in the background so there's some buildings in the background. And I went ahead and I'm showing you what we're going to do. I went ahead and set up one of the buildings to show you how you can use maps instead of models to quickly create buildings. And I'm going to walk you through this. Okay, just want to show you what we're doing first. So I'm going to take this building on the side here so you can see the different faces of it. And I'm going to convert it to an editable poly so that I can then work with its polygons. So once you've converted it, click on polygon. Make sure polygon's highlighted because you're going to apply materials, different materials to different faces, just as I've done here. You see there's a storefront on material on this face and a brick on that face. This is how you do it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to, or I'm going to select my compact material editor, and I'm going to create, I cleared this out and set it to standard surface. And what I'm going to do in my base color, I'm going to make that 1. On this one right here next to color, I'm going to select it. And I'm going to come down to general. Scroll all the way down here to general. Let me close this up. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay. Come all the way down here to bitmap. Double click. And I'm going to, let's see. There's one. Apply an image just to, okay, I've got that polygon selected, just that one, and I'm going to apply that selection to the material. And it's not showing up. Hang on, let's see. Show shaded material in viewport. Sometimes if it doesn't show up, you can click that button. I think what's happening is it's in shade. Let me render it out then. And now you see there's my storefront on the face of the building. Okay, just like this one over here. I'm then going to click on, while I'm still in my my polygon mode, I'm still going to stay on polygon. I'm going to select this face. And then I'm going to, and I'll show you how I did this one, I'm going to apply the brick. I attached it right here, clicked on it right there, and attached the brick to this material. Let's do a different brick for this space, just to make it more eclectic. Okay, so I'm going to go to this one, right here, pick a map, bitmap. And then let's see if I have a different kind of brick. I have a different brick. Let's use this one. So we use that brick. I'm going to go back up in the stack to the main one. It's called wall paint. And I'm going to turn my specular highlights to 0 because it's brick. Brick is not shiny. Right? And I'm now going to apply that material to selection. And there it is. And I don't like the scale. Okay, so the scale to me is those bricks should be smaller. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'll go back here to the brick. I'll click on the material, either here, where it is, or you can scroll all the way down to where your maps are, my base color. Click on it. And I can now make some adjustments to my image. Okay, so there's the bitmap, and I can make changes to it. I can scale it. Let's see. It'll show you. Close this out. I think that's doing the cropping. Let's do this. Let's click on the M. There we go. You want this one. Okay. So now watch what happens. You can see it happen here, and you can see it happen over here, and I'm going to click off of it so you can see it. I'm going to adjust the offset. So you see how it's moving the material? So I can make sure that the grout joint on the building right there aligns with the edge. Okay, I did that through the top one, the U offset. And then on the one on the bottom, adjusts it up and down so that I can make sure that a whole brick is up here and a whole brick is down there. Now, if I decide that I want to stretch it, make it go that way, I'll go negative. If I want to shrink it, I go this way and I make it positive. And that's what those numbers do. So now let's say I decide that's the size of the brick I want. And so what I've done is let's make sure I'm going to adjust. Yep, it looks like my tiling might be, or my offset might be, there we go. Okay, so all I've done is I've adjusted those four numbers, the offset and the tiling. The offset determines where the map is placed, the texture is placed on the face. The tiling adjusts the scale, okay? And it's opposite of what you think it is. The tiling gets smaller the bigger the number. Because what it just means is, in this case, because this is a seamless brick texture, I now have 2.6. So there's 1, 2, and then a little bit more than a half. I have 2.6 tiles in the U direction and 2.3 bricks or images in the V direction. And U and V are just really X and Y. And so it creates that. And so when I render this out again, oops, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. You're going to see that I now have very quickly and very easily made a building just by using maps. And it works this way for anything and everything that you model if you convert it to an editable poly. You can select a polygon and apply a material just to a polygon. And then you can scale or adjust that map by working with the offset and the tiling. And you can see here the end result of my doing that. I didn't have to model any of that. Now, it's not to say you want to be that simple. There are things you probably do want to model. The things that stick out, or things that recess. In this case, buildings always have a parapet, so I would probably go in and put in a parapet and do a little bit more detail. And I've just got this on a concrete base rather than any sort of sidewalks, because you would normally have sidewalks and street and everything. I just put the concrete on a base. But that is one way that you can very quickly create a model for a scene that's in your midground to background, right? And then this back here is just a map. It's it right. This is it right here. And let me go to that. And remember, I can always make adjustments to that too, right? I can rotate where that is. Oh, I kind of like that better. And I can also adjust the height on where that is. And so in this case, I want that ground line below my buildings because I would not see it. That's about right. That looks good. There we go. Okay, and let me show you with this one more. Let's clear out another slot. Change that to standard surface. And let's see, I might have some more buildings in here I can use. Bitmap, down here under general. Okay. Oops, I gotta unclick that. There we go. Convert to editable poly. Right, and then we're gonna select just that face. Apply that material to that face. That's interesting. It's blown out for some reason. Oh, let's get rid of the shininess. something that stayed with it, and I don't know what. It's interesting. There's something off somewhere. It didn't completely get rid of everything. Let me render it out and see what it looks like. It looks fine when it's rendered out. Okay, so we have an issue here. I've applied this, and it's got this big, thick boundary on the top that I want to crop out. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to back up to my map, click on it, and I'm going to stretch it. Oops. In the negative direction. Oops. Just a little bit. It's hard to do. You can just click, there we go. And then I'm going to adjust the offset. And it has brilliantly cropped out that big, thick, empty, because this is just negative space back there. And it's fit it to where I want it to go. Now I would need to put a roof on this. Obviously that's not. So you can make a image that has stuff around the outside. I would recommend you take it in Photoshop and crop it. But you can also crop it here by working with the offset and the tiling. And there's a little bit on the edges that needs to go. And let's do that by clicking on the tiling to make it 0.9. And that appears to have resolved all that negative space on the outside. Okay. And you can see for a background on a scene that I'm working in, this is fabulous. So try it out, see how it works for you, and have fun.